Todd McShay recently said something interesting. Is that news that Todd McShay said something interesting? No, because Todd McShay basically predicted that the Niners would take Trey Lance. Good for him. Let's listen to McShay. He's been on this one more than some other people. So he's saying that Trey Lance will start more games than Jimmy Garoppolo in 2021. This while Jed York saying that Trey Lance could sit for 2 years. This sounds a little more realistic than what Jed York was saying. Do you buy or sell that Trey Lance will start more games than Jimmy G next season?
I'm going to buy it. I really think that Lance is going to be able to be right on par with Garoppolo and at some point take over the job. I think, we've watched Garoppolo play, and you've mentioned a number of times how he is not a very good quarterback in practice. Mm-hmm. And so I think that's going to allow.
You've also mentioned a lot of good times that he's not a very good quarterback week one early in the season.
He's not, because week one he's usually not very good. It takes him a little bit of time to ramp up. So I really think that there's a really good chance that we're going to see him. If Lance doesn't start week one, we'll see him starting by week 3 or 4. It really depends on what that schedule when it comes out, who they're playing. Because if they got some tough teams early on, there could be some losses. There could be, early on it could be frustration and it's time to move on kind of thing.
It seems to me like the fan base will have no patience for Jimmy Garoppolo anymore. Like if they hear good things about Trey Lance in camp and they see good things from him in preseason, and Kyle Shanahan says he's not ready, we're going with Jimmy Garoppolo, fans will be frustrated with that. And then anytime Jimmy Garoppolo loses a game, throws an interception, doesn't play well, fans are going to call for Trey Lance. And as we see, the 49er fan base is basically controlling this team right now. They're in the front office. They made the picks. They vetoed Mac Jones. They might have wanted Mac Jones. The fan base said, we're not letting you do that. So the fan base has some power right now. And I think the fan base is going to be – you know how these things work. Trey Lance is the new toy. They want him out there. And if Jimmy Garoppolo's playing mediocre or worse than that, the fans aren't going to be like, hey, let's watch that again next week. They're going to be like, no, it's Trey time.
Oh yeah. We've seen this play out before. We saw it play out when Alex Smith and Colin Kaepernick were here. If you remember, there was the one preseason game, I think, against the Chargers where Colin Kaepernick came out and just lit them on fire. And after that, it was like, hey, we need to get that guy in the field. We want to see that. We want to see more of that than the Alex Smith thing. And then you started to see that play out throughout the season. So I totally understand that. I think as soon as Garoppolo has trouble, you're going to hear the calls.
Doesn't it feel like deja vu? It's like 2012. Not 2011, because no one expected Kaepernick to play as a rookie. He was a second-round pick. But in 2012, it felt like as soon as Alex Smith had some shaky games, it was going to be Kaepernick time. And when he got hurt, did they both play about 8 games that year? Yeah,
they're right around 8 games. I think Smith got hurt in the 9th game. Yeah. And that's what happened, right? They had Kaepernick had a good preseason, and then Smith struggled in the loss to the New York Giants, and that's when you really started hearing the calls.
Splitting time in games, yes,
and then they lost to the Giants, and it's like, hey, we can't win with this guy. That's what you start hearing from the fans, and then shortly then Smith had a couple of good games, got hurt, and then the rest was history.
That's right.